Blessings. We are back with another video. Okay, before I do that, a couple quick announcements before we get into it. Again, if you're interested in a 2024 yearly forecast reading, I am doing those readings from now until roughly around the first week in February. That's kind of where I stopped doing them. 2024 forecast reading is just that. It forecasts what you can expect, prepare for, what the spirits, gods, goddesses, and demons have in store for you for 2024. A very helpful tool for you to plan your year, your spiritual path, and assist you in what you're trying to accomplish, right? So if you want to book a 2024 yearly forecast reading, or if you want to book any other type of reading that I offer, I do also offer telepathic demonic readings, shadow work readings, which are obviously shadow work is something we should be doing continuously, uncovering the shadow and the hidden self. Deity readings to see what spirits, gods, goddesses, demons walk with you. Egyptian oracle readings, Santa Muerte readings. If you're interested in booking of any aforementioned, shoot me an email at khnum19@gmail.com. Include the days and times you're available. When I ask for availability, don't just give me 1 or 2 times you're available. Sometimes people do that. Give me a full, over a 7-day period. Each day, what is your availability? Or just if you have specific days and times you're available, put the days and times you're available. It just makes it easier. Sometimes people just say, I'm available Wednesday at 3 o'clock. Unfortunately, it doesn't work like that because I'm dealing with a lot of people. So I can shoot you availability dates that are within your availability. But if you're just giving me one time or one day, that's not going to work. And also put the time zone you're in. That helps because I deal with people, as I said, on all time zones within the United States, overseas, Africa, you name it. All right? So you can shoot me an email at khnum19@gmail.com, and I will send you information on how to book a spiritual reading or a spiritual consultation. If you're interested in signing up for classes, the way you sign up for classes that I offer 3 classes every single month. 3 private classes I do on Patreon for Patreon members only, including a monthly group ritual. When you do join the Patreon, you get access to everything in the archives going 3 years back, plus everything new moving forward, okay? The Patreon page, I go much more in depth. I talk about things on Patreon I don't talk about openly on YouTube. There's work, there's rituals that are involved. It's an interaction with the Primordial Chaos family when we do it in a private live Zoom setting if you're able to make it live. If you can't get to the live classes, everything is archived. You can go back and watch it. All the collections of the various different ongoing series of classes is archived in the collection section on Patreon. If you go on there, each class is labeled and in numerical order, including the group rituals that we do every month, which we're almost at 40, which, as you can see, a little bit over 3+ years I've been doing the Patreon page. So there's enough of information, classes, ritual work that'll keep you busy for years, and that's no exaggeration. There's no possible way, if you are involved in what I'm doing, you cannot say you don't know what to do, or you don't have anything to do, or you don't know what direction to go in. It's literally impossible. There's so much shit on there, you'll be busy for years, literally. You won't be able to get to all of it. That's how many classes that I'm doing on there. That's how much ritual work is on there and continuously being uploaded. So check out the Patreon page, patreon.com/Baniti, BANITI, tier 3. That's the tier you want to join. Just to put it out there, next year, October 2024, at the end of October, the 7th annual Journey of the Black Adept Conference. Mark your calendars. More to come on that as we get later in the next year. Also, check out the Primordial Chaos podcast, available on Spotify and all major podcast platforms. You can now get all this new content in audio format. You can listen to it while you're just hanging around the house, walking in the park, exercising, driving in the car, at work, whatever it may be. Okay? The link for the podcast is in the description box of this video. Check us out on Instagram, Primordial Chaos 9, one word. Check us out on Facebook, 2 words, Primordial Chaos. And also on the Facebook page, I'm sorry, got distracted. On the Facebook page too, I upload all this new content. So all the links, my contact email, the link to the podcast, the link to sign up for the Primordial Chaos Patreon page for classes, all that's in the description box of this video. All right, you see the title, right? You must take the mentality of a spiritual warrior to be on this path. We are warriors, okay? This is not a path for the faint of heart. This is not a path for weak-minded individuals. This is not a path for people who want to be safe and comfortable, okay? As I've said before, challenging yourself, and this being a challenging path, I could talk about it all day, right? I can constantly keep drilling that home. I think some people don't really absorb when they hear that. I want to make it clear why you must be a spiritual warrior, okay? Because it's something I talk about a lot. Assisting your magic in your everyday mundane life. That's the warrior part. So what I'm trying to get at is this. Sometimes people think they're on this path, or they might be doing things, or maybe they've gone a long period of time where some chaos that hasn't arisen in their life. And this is usually one of the main factors. Shit might be going so well, they haven't really been dealing with any major chaos, and then a good amount of time could have gone by, and then all of a sudden some bullshit comes and happens out of the blue. And then they get caught off guard, they get surprised, or they thought it's been so long, I can't understand why this is happening. I just want to make it clear, the warrior part that you deal with in your mundane physical existence is the everyday battles of life will still be there, okay? Stop acting for people who think because I'm on this path, I work magic, I call myself this or that title. Stop thinking you're still not going to have battles and fights and wars and challenges and chaos to devour and harmonize, okay? Do not think that in your mind. Everyday life shit is still going to happen. Right? Some people, I say this because some people come on this path and they think it's like this mystical fix-all. Oh, nothing ever going to go wrong now because I'm working with Lucifer. Oh, shit. Much shit can still go wrong. It's how you deal with it and handle it. That's the warrior part. The difference is if you're equipped, you're prepared, you trust in the knowledge you've gained. You know how to apply the knowledge you gained. Okay? Then you have the armor and the tools like the warrior does to win the battle. And not just the battle, but to win the overall war. Okay? I need people to get out of their head, oh, because I'm claiming to be an occultist, a left-hand path practitioner, a black magician, whatever you want to call it, like you think nothing, you're not going to be dealing with bullshit in your life. Where the fuck are you getting this stuff from? Okay? I don't promote, and nor do I subscribe to anybody that promotes this path as some fairy tale bullshit. Okay, that's the problem, because just like religion and other spiritual paths and dogmas, sometimes there's bad, stereotypes of what this path is about. Okay? And this is why I'm always telling you, stay harmonized between your subjective and your objective consciousness. Because if you go too spooky beyond the clouds, or you think you're untouchable, or you think you're this, that, and the other, and nothing could ever go wrong in your life, or no bullshit can ever arise in your life, you are fucking delusional. Okay? You are delusional. And this message comes to me today, as I'm recording this video. It's Thanksgiving Day, or what's called Thanksgiving Day, and I just focus on the give thanks part, not to some spooky mystical force. Give thanks and just be grateful for your existence. Give thanks and be grateful for what you do have. Okay? Not what you don't have. Stop bitching, moaning, and complaining about shit. Okay? Because again, at the end of the day, I don't know how many times I've said this over the years, nobody gives a fuck. The quicker you learn that, the better you'll get your ass in gear and light a fire up under your ass and do for self. Okay, you can sit around bitching, complaining, moaning, feeling sorry for yourself, shed tears, shed your tears, this, that, and the other. But guess what? At the end of the day, life goes on. And it doesn't mean you can't take a moment when you're going through things, but it means if you're going to play the role of the victim, you're going to become that victim that you're playing that role of at some point. Okay? So stop sitting there bitching and complaining about stuff. Stop saying when chaos arises in my life, I don't understand it. I did all this work with Lucifer. How could this happen? This is the shit some people do. As stupid or funny or dumb as it might sound, it has to be addressed. I mean, shit. Nobody is obsolete from battling chaos and obstacles and challenges in your life. I deal with it all the time. Even people who are on this path that are well harmonized, getting great levels of success, will tell you they deal with it. Everybody's going to have relationship problems. I don't care how good your relationship or your marriage is, you're going to have your little riffs, your rafts, your disagreements, and sometimes they might get bigger, but you find ways to work through it. You're going to run into issues with money. You're going to have maybe periods, or if you have existing health conditions or health problems, or you're going to have, how can I get sick? I'm supposed to be this deep. Of course you're going to get sick because you're living in a world of sickness that's plagued by sickness. You do the best you can to protect yourself by exercising, taking supplements. Is that 100% foolproof guarantee that you can't get sick? Absolutely not. I don't give a fuck what anybody's telling you. Even the person, let me tell you something. Even the person that is eating so spiritually perfect, they're taking every supplement, doing everything right. I've seen this. Illness can strike out of nowhere. It's not about that when you understand the totality of things. All you can do is your best of your ability in regards to things like that in your life. Whether it's marriage, relationship, work, career, business, money, your health, right? These are all the key attributes of living a successful life, mastering those principles. You do that by applying the knowledge, but when something comes, when some chaos comes over the horizon, you must take on the role of the spiritual warrior and be prepared to fight the battle. Okay? Because that's why you're on this path. As I said before, I see many people abandon their spiritual path and don't go to it to gain strength in times of turmoil, in times of serious need and distress. They either take the mentality of the road, they want some quick fix from something or somebody, or they get so fucking unraveled that they just fall into their misery and feel sorry for themselves. Okay? You have to understand at the end of the day, life goes on, and the reality is, yeah, you could be going through some shit and people go, hey man, I understand what you're going through. No, they don't. Okay, it's one thing if you're just saying that to be sympathetic or empathetic, but nobody knows exactly what you're going through. And if what you're going through, especially during this time of the year, as we approach the high holiday season in this country, it could bring out a lot of things. People who are suffering from depression, loneliness, anxiety, bipolar disorders, all these different types of things. If you need, reach out to somebody, please. And if you know somebody, check on them. And even not, just check on everybody to the best of your ability you do know, because you just don't know what people are going through. I've said this many times before. There's been many people on the surface who you think and look up and say, oh, that person is so happy. Man, they got a great life. They got a great family, a great job, business, or career, a beautiful house and cars. So automatically, You're looking at everything on the outside and you go, oh, that person must be, oh man, they're living a great life. I wish I was living that type of life, but you don't know what's going on in here and in here. Okay? And this is why I keep saying it's important to be in a sound mind and a sound body when you're on this path. Take care of your mental health. Do things to keep your mental health stimulated and strong. Try to the best of your ability to stay stress-free. I know it's hard in this world. Because the way this world is going, it's moving fast. There's a lot of shit going on in the world and in life around you, but it's important you nurture your mental health. I can't stress that enough. Do things that relax you. Meditation, listening to the right kind of vibrational frequency in music. Music is the best. It's my most powerful therapeutic healing tool, and it keeps my mental health strong. Right now I'm on a hardcore 70s R&B kick. Because it reminds me of all the songs I heard as a small child growing up, driving in the car with my parents and my father. My father, I get my love for music from both of my parents, but my father I get it from my father. He was, I told you, he was a doo-wop singer back in the 60s. He was in a doo-wop group. So his love for music transitioned into me. My mother too. My mother, though, she was heavily into the dancing aspect. My mother loved to dance. I didn't inherit that shit from my mother. I can do I could do the cool 1-2 step. I could do that all night in the club. I was the 1-2 step guy. I could do all the basic shit. But my mother's love for music came through dancing, and my father's love for music came through the music and the singing. And music, to me, is the most therapeutic mentally. It's great for your mental health. And it's like my mind knows it grasps towards it, because I go through periods of kicks where I want to hear a certain genre of music. Right now it's 70s R&B. I'm listening to shit right now, the Delphonics, the OJs, the Dells, the Stylistics, Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes, Blue Magic, the Emotions, right? These were all groups, the Manhattans, the Spinners. These were groups I remember as a kid driving in the car with my father a lot, because I used to be with my father a lot on the weekends, and my father and mother. These were the songs I remember driving to my grandmother's house on a Sunday, right? And it's very healing. I keep telling you guys, if you haven't watched those videos on Music Magic Part 1 and 2, for those of you in the Patreon class, we go a little bit deeper. But for those that didn't watch, in the archives, go watch the Music Magic videos. 2 volumes in there. That is one of the greatest things that can really, really stimulate your mental health. I can't stress that enough. Because music takes you back to that music takes me back to when I was vibrant as a very vibrant child back in the 70s, as a very small child. It's very healing. I told you, tapping into music of your generation and in a specific period of time in your life, especially if it was periods where you were vibrant and joyful. I just remember those rides in the car. I remember all that shit. I remember, like I say, I was fortunate to come up with a strong, tight-knit family. Uncles, aunties, cousins, grandparents. Like when everybody was alive, my grandparents were alive, everything was family. Sundays were huge. We used to do the big Sunday dinners almost just about every Sunday for the most part. It was over at my grandmother's house on Sundays. Remember listening to the music. I have memories of them playing cards, later in the evening. I remember the desserts, all that shit, man. And that's why this time of the year is special for me. But learn to tap into your personal energy. It's the only way you're going to become a spiritual warrior. That's why I said in the beginning of the video, this path isn't for the weak-minded. Okay? This path is for individuals who are built for it, right? You must be strong, and not just physically. Yes, physically, but mentally and emotionally. Okay? You must be prepared to go to war. Because from the moment you were birthed into this world, there was a war to snatch your soul. And by who and what are you saying? What are you saying, Benito? Who's trying to snatch my soul? I'm simply saying the powers that be that got their own agenda. Whoever that may be that falls in line. Religious leaders, political leaders, educational leaders, anybody or group of people that promote or conformist system or way of thinking. I'm saying those people. From day one, it was the powers that be who want control for their own personal greedy reasons. They have to do that by controlling the very essence of your soul, by the way you think, by the way you feel, instill fear in you. That's what I mean when I say that. I'm not talking about some spooky force, because Baniti don't deal with that shit. Baniti deals with real shit in real time with real explanations, because that's going to keep you fucking grounded overall on your spiritual path. When you start going to Spookyville, you start getting sucked into conspiracy fucking theories, then your ass gets all messed up in the head. Then your mental health starts to deteriorate, because now you live in fear. Like just yesterday, for an example, to show you how people are reactionary bands. As you guys probably saw on the news, that car that crashed on the Rainbow Bridge, which is one of the bridges that connect Canada to West New York, right? First thing first, which I get it in this day and time. First thing first, everybody's terrorist attack. And obviously they got to go into that protocol mode because of all that's going on today. But because I'm saying, look how people automatically now are going to react like that. And I get the reasons why. But they're trying to take your mental health and sound reasoning away, because the first thing people want to do is react. And it turns out it's just some fool who was speeding on the way to a Kiss concert, and unfortunately he missed a good show. Let me stop. It's fucked up. But what I'm trying to say is, it's so at the snap of a finger they can promote fear, people, just like that. The snap of a finger. You must put on the tools of a spiritual warrior and get ready to do battle. What is that? That's your ritual work. That's your armor at your ritual altar, your ritual tools, the power of your visualization skills, the power for you to tap into your subjective consciousness and activate the knowledge, the wisdom, and the understanding you need to win the battle and then the overall war. So, long story short, if you think you're going to be on this path and you will not have to continue through life to some degree, and in my opinion, when you really are connected to this path, yes, that stuff starts to diminish, and it doesn't happen a lot. I can say it to me, I can only speak for myself. I'm very fortunate. I don't deal with a lot of it, but I'm not stupid. I do deal with some bullshit. And even when I go through long stretches where I'm not really dealing with no drama or bullshit or chaos, I'm not stupid. I don't let my guard down. I know I'm ready and I'm prepared just in case, because I know it does come at some point. I'm not stupid. Okay? So to all of you out there that might be listening and really haven't been through no really serious drama or bullshit in a while, don't get cocky. Don't get complacent, and don't think, oh, it's been so long, ain't shit happened to me, I'm rolling. That could be the case. And kudos to you. Way to go, buddy. Let me stop. Don't think a shit can't come, because it can come. Okay? Just be ready. And look, if you go forever without it, hey, power to you. But don't get complacent and get caught off guard, and don't get surprised when it does come. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. If you understand that perspective, you as the spiritual warrior will always be ready to do battle. It's just like when a warrior stays on guard, or he's guarding or protecting something, right? Just stay on guard is what I'm trying to tell you, okay? Because you live in the real world. You live in a world with real problems, with real shit going on, okay? But what makes us different is our approach and what we do. We're not caught up in the illusionary, indoctrinated, fucked up part of this world that they're trying to sell us. Right? We are masters and rulers of this world. Just like one of the titles they say of Satan and Lucifer, ruler of this world. Right? Not because it limits him to being the ruler of this world. It's because when you take on the mentality of the adversary, you're not caught up in the mistruths, lies, and falsehood of this world. You rule this world in the sense you have a great understanding and beyond the standing, I should say, of everything that exists. That's what makes us different. All right? So having said that, yes, I'm headed to 9 rounds, which is only open for another hour. Want to get my make some room for some turkey. So I'm going to get my 30-minute circuit workout in. Sweat it out. That's all I'm going to do for today. I worked out yesterday. I don't usually work out on Wednesdays, but I'm on vacation for a little bit. But anyway, other than that, that's going to do it for this video. If you need to reach out to me, khnum19@gmail.com for information. If you want to book a spiritual reading, a consultation, remember in the description box of this video, the link to the podcast, Primordial Chaos Podcast, the social media pages, the direct link to the Primordial Chaos Patreon page to sign up for classes. All of that information is in the description box of this video that you're watching right now. I appreciate you guys. For those that do celebrate Thanksgiving, give thanks. You guys enjoy your day. I know I am. Infernal blessings. We'll talk soon. I'm out.